All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to try to do a quick 20 minutes here. I plan to get the boys on tomorrow night. It's Monday night right now, but it's 10:25. I'm hoping to go to bed soon. And I'm sure some of the other boys are, wrapping up their nights.
All right, so we have a Justice League podcast theme song. I hope you enjoy. It's not great, but I just thought it'd be funny. I'm going to play it at the beginning and the end of every podcast. So let's get right into the podcast.
So over the past 2 weeks, so we haven't gotten on for 2 weeks. Week 11, anything crazy happened? Oh my God, yeah, something crazy happened. Herbie fully loaded. Are you kidding me? 170.18 points. New league record. Just annihilated his opponent. And poor Matthew, it's one thing to have a bad week, but it's another thing to have a bad week and your opponent score 170.18 points on you. Geez, oh man. Not only is that a new world record, it's got to be a new record, points won by, 103. I don't know if we've ever had that. And then another big happening, Dan bites kneecaps. Almost went down to Morning Chubb. Morning Chubb almost got, what did that then? 2 straight wins. Yeah, he would have almost got 2 straight wins. So really close. It all came down to Monday night, I'm pretty sure. But Austin Eckler was just too powerful. Or Sunday night. Did it come down to Sunday night? I think Sunday night. So yeah, 99-95. Dan White's kneecaps came away with that to improve himself to 9-2. But we can't talk enough about Herbie Fuller. 170 points. As he said, everyone did their job that night. That's an understatement. Justin Herbert, 34.28. James Conner, 15.9. Devontae Adams, 23.5. Jalen Waddle, 12.6. Travis Kelce, 13.8. Joe Mixon, 24.3. Patriots defense, 26. Greg Joseph with 10. The only demarcation is James Robinson and his RB1 at 9.8. I would have loved, not for Matthew's sake, but for Luke's sake, to see James Robinson have gotten 20 points to make it a 181-point game. Oh my God. So we do know it's possible. That's all it comes down to. We know it's possible. And under their news, week 11, we had the Stink Bowl. Uncle Ron is retarded, scoring 69 points, beating Applebee's Artichoke Dick, scoring 61 points. Yeah. I should have listened to Tristan. I did play Jacoby Myers. I had a good feeling about him. I thought he was going to, excel. Tristan told me a little bit too late, but basically I just should have gone with my gut. I had Elijah Moore in there earlier, and I would have won. Elijah Moore scored 21 points, while Jacoby Myers got 3.9. I figured Jacoby Myers, he scored the touchdown last week. It was going to be his breakout week here. It was going to be his breakout touchdown. He'd score so many touchdowns there and out. Little did I know how wrong I was. So I ended up taking that loss. And that brings us to week 12. It sounds like someone whooping their siren outside. Week 12, we got the comeback kid. I Chase Young Kids comes back in a major way. That's his second win in a row, I believe. And he's going to improve to 7-5, bringing him back into the playoff picture. He scored 112 points this week. Just well done, super well done by him to put his name back in the hat, and not just put his name back in the hat by winning, but put his name back in the hat by winning, and winning with a handsome score, 112 points. It was one of our top scores this week. It was the third highest in the league, I believe. I have to watch a stupid ad to go to Fantasy Cast, so I'm going to ad-lib for a little bit here. But yeah, I mean, just very well done by Chase Young Kids. 7-5. He's competing. He has to win still, so he's got 2 tough matchups: Dan Bites Kneecaps, and then his rival Applebee's Artichoke Ticks. So nothing's guaranteed. Nothing's guaranteed, but he's officially in that hunt. I should get the trophies going too. Yeah, let me see what trophies. Week 10. Was that when I did trophies last? Nope. Week 11 maybe. Trophies? Nope. Week 9. Trophies, come on. Nope. The ad is up, by the way, so I'm going to move on. But yeah, absolutely blew out Morning Chubb. But again, it's Morning Chubb. I mean, A.J. Brown's now on his team, who's on IR. DeAndre Swift was out injured. Dalvin Cook's now got a dislocated shoulder. So basically chalk yourself up to a win if you're playing Morning Chubb within these past couple weeks. Other news, Aiden made a good run at the end. Russell Wilson, popping up. J.D. McKissick got 17.6 points. So Aiden made a good run at the end to try and get back some a win against Tristan, but it wasn't enough. And Tristan also cements himself as like officially in that wild card hunt. He is in the wild card right now, so it's his to lose. But yeah, just props to Aiden, and it's gonna be a tough rest of the season for him. McCaffrey's out again, and Jamar Chase is kind of gone away a little bit. Jay Jefferson's good. Brandon Cooks will be good. But other than that, not much to look forward to from Aiden. Amari Cooper may be coming back. It's something to look forward to, but he's got to make a running back pickup. But yeah, well done to Tristan. Tristan's rolling. He's on the up. He's on the up exactly when you want to be on the up and up, and that's great. And we've got another big upset this week. New South Charlietown taking out Uncle Ron is Retarded. New South Charlietown now putting himself into the playoff race again. He was out, but he's back in. 5 wins on the season. To be honest, I was writing Matt off when he had 3 wins. I really was. I was like, you know what? Matt's probably happy. He's got himself 3 wins. He'll probably take it easy the rest of the season. But no, Matt will not go quiet into that gentle good night. He's going to win. He's going to try. Are you kidding me? 108 points to 72.7. Matt takes the win, puts himself level with Uncle Ron is Retarded and the team formerly known as Sigma Jail Grindset. And now he's 2 games behind. So he's 1 game behind. No, he's 2, isn't he? So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for New South Charlietown. But if he win, he has to win out. He has to win out and hope that his opponents lose and lose poorly to get by. Oh, we might have the playoff already set now that I'm going through it. Herbie Fully Loaded got a massive win against Dan White's Kneecaps, 115.72 to 72.1. Dan White's Kneecaps might be scratching his head, might be getting a little bit nervous here at the end of the season. I mean, okay, Lamar Jackson didn't have a good game. He got 9 points. Give him another 10. Dan Bites Kneecaps back up at 82. Mike Evans didn't do anything this week, so Mike Evans, give him 8 points. So Dan Bites is hovering around 90 points. So maybe not, that probably won't be that scared, but definitely some thoughts is going to have to go into this next week's lineup, or maybe not. Maybe you just roll with the same lineup. I mean, it's a great time to just figure out who's going to be consistent for you. Just keep the same lineup going, because I mean, you're in the playoffs. You've got a couple good matchups coming up. Might as well just roll with it and see where it takes you. Last but not least, for the matchups, we got Applebee's Artichoke Ticks. Myself, I took out Matthew and the team formerly known as Sigma Jail Grindset, currently known as 110.45 points per game against. And yes, that is definitely the story of Matthew's season, no doubt. The points per game against him has been absolutely unreal. But I mean, at the same time, I don't want to harp on him because I think he had a fantastic start to the season. But the second half of his season it's really just gone all wrong for him. The players, I mean, Kamara has been spotty, I'm pretty sure, right? He's been kind of in and out of games the second half of the season. Yeah, he didn't play week 10, 11, 12. Okay, so that makes sense. So that's why Kamara's That's where he's losing a lot of production. Kareem Hunt was out for a little bit there, and Tony Brown's been out for a while. So, I mean, it makes sense why Matthew would be struggling. But you just hate to see it, I mean, you see a team perform so well in the first half of the season, get a couple unlucky losses. You expect them to, come back with vengeance in the second half of the season. But now he really doesn't control his own destiny whatsoever. He has to absolutely must win out. And the other teams can't win out, which is critical. So that's going to bring us... Okay, let's give out some trophies real quick. East Lansing Applebee's run for scoring the least points this week. That one goes to Morning Chubb. That's easy. That always happens. Wendy's guy, I earned the Wendy's guy second time this year. And it was my high score this year, 124.9. I'll take that. Naps McGee for being the most slept on this week. I probably would have... Matt Roskowitz again. He loves that Naps McGee trophy. So I'm going to give it to him. Moving to Kansas City, you didn't do bad per se, but it just could have been better. I'll give it to Tristan. I feel like that one kind of applies. He didn't do bad, 92.16, but it just could have been better. Yeah, I mean, we could have seen a little bit more production. He got the win, so he didn't do bad. Boy Farm Memorial Trophy tried, but it was all in vain. The fellowship failed. I'm going to give that one to Aiden. He tried right there at the end. He really did. He really gave it a good try. But it was all in vain. And I mean, Aiden kind of gets the Boy Farm Memorial Trophy on the season. I really genuinely think Aiden... Oh, but Matthew too. That one's tough. But I want to, give a big shout out to Aiden for all the effort that he has put in. Even though it doesn't seem like a lot, it's a lot more than what I expected. And so that's why I appreciate it so much. All right, Dow's last call. You got to be more consistent. Everyone wants to see it. Probably me. For a couple reasons, I'm really inconsistent these past few weeks. I mean, I went from like 30 points to 90 points back to 60 points up to 124 points. So very inconsistent. A couple other people that could earn it. Dan Bites Kneecaps. Uncle Ron is Guitarded. They could also, be in the running for that one. We'll give them, a couple votes to get the trophy, but they didn't get it. Sprite and Banana Challenge losing by the biggest margin is Matthew. No. 63 points between Chase Young Kids and 50. Yep. So sorry. Morning Chubb gets that one. Sorry, Matthew. Gets the Sprint and Banana Challenge. Connors Canoe P for a hard fought win. I'm going to give that one to Herbie Fully Loaded. I think he just hard fought. I mean, he didn't have, it wasn't close, but he worked hard for that one. And I think he earned it and did well to do it. Luke Wall Scoop Memorial. There it is. Trophy. Tough loss on Monday night. No one really, this week. So basically, let's get into the meat. Just to review, we're going to talk about this more, but the playoffs are set. The playoffs really are set. Because with my win and with Luke's win, we both moved to 8-4. Connor drops to 9-3, but 2 games left in the season. That means I chase Young. So Connor's at 9, me and Luke are at 8. The next highest teams are I Chase Young Kids, who's going to be at 7 wins. Cut My Nuts at 7 wins. And, excuse me. So they can overtake me and Luke, but the teams below them, 110.45 points per game against, Uncle Ron is Retarded, New South Charlie Town, all at 5-7. They are not effectively eliminated, but because they can't push out me and Luke are 100% in. Dan Bites Kneecaps has been 100% in for a couple weeks now, but me and Luke are 100% in because with 2 weeks left at 5 wins, you cannot, they can't push out me and Luke. So basically the playoff, the 1-2, the ranks aren't set, but the playoff, who's making it, basically is set. Dan Bites Kneecaps is in. Herbie Fully Loaded is in. Applebee's Artichoke Dicks is in. I Chase Young Kids, most likely in. Cut My Nuts, also most likely in. Because Cut My Nuts and I Chase Young Kids both have 7 wins. If they lose 2 of their games, basically the scenario is New South Charlie, Uncle Ron is Retarded, 110 points per game against. they need Chelsea and Cut My Nuts to lose both of their games and for them to win both of their games. So it's not impossible, but it's just not that likely. So it's, I guess the field, I shouldn't have said that. So the field isn't completely set. Zach, yes, technically can still get knocked out, but because his points for is so high, it will be very hard for Uncle Ron is Retarded or New South Charlie. It will be very hard for those teams to eliminate him through points for. Matthew, well, we can also, I guess this is where it would get very exciting. So if we finish the season, I chase young kids, I cut my nuts, 110.45 points per against Uncle Ron's Guitar to New South Charlottetown. If they're all 7-7, which is impossible because of matchups, but if we have that good handful of 5-7 teams, or 7-7 teams, all fighting for that 5th playoff spot, I think Aaron's right. I think we do have the debate. We have the spirited debate. We get everyone on a call. I think we might all be home. I know 2 weeks. So we just finished week 12. So week 13 is going to be the 4th. Week 14 is going to be the 11th. So yes, we won't all be home. So we got to get on a spirited phone call like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, sometime that week. Yeah, get on a spirited phone call together. If the scenario warrants it, and let Zach, Tristan, Matthew, Aaron, Matt, argue their way in. Maybe not argue, but give them have themselves present themselves their case, and then I don't know how the committee is going to work, but maybe like the guys that are already in, so maybe me, Luke, and Connor, we go into like a breakout room, we talk about that. But see, that's flawed too, because we would, by virtue of wanting an easier opponent, it'd be really tough. We'd have to put that aside. But by virtue of wanting an easier opponent, we'd probably try to choose the guy that we think we can most beat. So it would be tough. That is the big drawback of having a spirited debate. Let me know in the comments what you think. Because otherwise, I think we literally just have to go by stats, by like points for. I think points for is more important than head to head. That's really tough for me to say. That's really tough for me to say because obviously I've won my head to head matchups. Another reason that's tough for me to say is because like they won, but it's not that tough because points for, encompasses your whole season as a whole on the season. Do you deserve to be in the playoffs? I think, yeah. So I think we got to look at points for, who's got the better points for. If they're relatively close though, maybe within a margin of plus or minus 50, then maybe we go head to head. And if that's tied, maybe we go division. Where you finish in your division. If that's tied, go, away wins. Or maybe we do whoever did it with less moves. So, like best draft. So that's an idea. But anyways, congrats to Dan Bites Kneecaps. Congrats to Herbie Fully Loaded. Can't congrats myself. But I'm in the playoffs. So we've got 3 of the teams decided. Ranks aren't quite decided. Dan Bites Kneecaps, likely number 1. Herbie Fully Loaded, likely number 2. But still, I chase young kids. If he wins out, he will likely jump me in the ranks. Cut My Nuts would also jump me if he wins out. So it'll be interesting. But basically, there you have it. I mean, week 13, we've got our playoffs basically set in stone. So now we're vying for, we're jockeying for ranking, getting that bye week, and then Aaron's is fighting to stay alive, even though it doesn't seem like he's got to make it. So there is some flaw in the playoff. I see that now. There is some flaw in the playoff. Because I guess if I'm Aaron and I'm at 5-7, I'm thinking there's no hope. I just like Matthew said, maybe I think about tanking. So that's another reason why I think people that make the playoffs need to have a money incentive to make it. So that's why I think maybe there's like, you only, like, we all pay 25. People that make the playoffs each get 50 baseline, so that there is some incentive, like, okay, I'm not going to lose 25. I'm going to, only lose 15. So that there is some incentive, but there's got to be, some incentive to get into the playoffs when it's at this point right now where you're like kind of basically like, okay, I really don't have much control. I don't know. I guess, yeah. So there's got to be a money incentive. Yeah, I'm not sure how to figure that out, but anyways, I think it just comes down, to money incentive of, the people that make the playoffs get some baseline amount back to ensure that, they're not losing as much, as the rest. And so that's why it'd be so important to get into playoffs, so important to have a good season, and so important to try even till the very end to make the playoffs. Yeah, I think it's got to be money. So, but then, once you get on a consolation ladder, like, go ahead, tank as best as you want to get that first round draft pick. I'm actually very curious. I was going to do this. So I'm going to stop the recording and I'm going to come back to you real quick. Okay, so what I was curious about was how the draft team usually does. So 2015, I drafted 6 overall. I won the league. 2017, Team Alvarenga drafted 3rd overall, won the league. 2018, 3rd overall, Team Mystic. 2017, actually, who won that year? 2017. Yeah, Team Mystic 2017, drafted 3rd overall, won the league. 2018, University of Findlay, drafted 4th overall, won the league. 2019, Tristan Dating Alvin Kamara Gay, drafted 7th overall, won the league. 2020, Bachelorette winners, drafted 5th overall, won the league. So we have yet to have a round 1, pick 1, the first person, like the first overall draft. So I'm just saying this for all those who want to tank. You might want to strategically tank because no one who's drafted first overall has won the league. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, we've had people that draft 3rd overall, 4th overall, 5th overall, and 7th overall draft the league. So basically, I guess what I'm trying to say is like the sweet spot of where you want to be in the draft is maybe like picks 3, 4, or 5. Because I guess maybe the way of thinking is like, number 1, there's this quote unquote obvious pick. But okay, I don't know what I'm saying. I just think that it's like, I wonder if there's that trend that like, or there's like something to it that, 3rd or 4th or 5th, maybe they've just got like a more solid selection because they've, they are not obligated at number 1 to take, Christian McCaffrey or whoever is the quote unquote like obvious number 1 overall. So I wonder, and there's like maybe like some relief, like, and so they quote unquote get like a steal at 5, or I don't know. But I do think that's interesting, and I think maybe keep that in mind. I genuinely do keep that in mind when you're tanking. Not necessarily don't, try to get last, but maybe try to get like 4th, like 4th in the pick, or 5th, or like 3rd. Because I mean, next year, tell me who's going to be number 1 overall. You can't tell me it's going to be Christian McCaffrey. You can't tell me it's going to be Derrick Henry. You can't tell me it's going to be Saquon Barkley. Not one of those guys. The only person that I'd buy at 1st overall from right now, the view on, Jonathan Taylor. So he's going to, quote unquote, go 1st overall. Maybe. So just like think about that. I guess, if you're trying to tank. And this is another place where I'd actually be really interested in this. Probably can't do it this year, but I'm genuinely thinking about it for 2020, is introducing Matthew's idea of, or like a keeper. Like they're just like the idea of a keeper. And I kind of liked Matthew's idea where it's if you can choose to keep a player, but you lose the position where you drafted him. So if you drafted, your player in the first round in 2019, and you want to keep your first round player in 2019, carry him over to the 2020 season, you would lose your first round draft pick. So we can talk about it more, and we'll have all off season to talk about it. I don't think I want to do it this year. We still can technically do it this year. Like we would just, I would just have to, we'd have to do like an offline draft or just like an honor, like an honor system draft. And like everyone takes, their player that they choose, should they choose to take him in the, well, no, we'd have to do an offline draft because the auto draft would mess it up. Which we could probably do an offline draft, but it'd be tough. Yeah, I mean, if we did an offline draft and we didn't have someone show up to it, because we just do it over Zoom, we just, do what ESPN does and just, pick the best overall player or something like that for their, at the moment. It'd be tough. So maybe we just implement a keeper, but you can't implement it this late. So I don't know. We'll talk about it in the off season and, go over all that. But anyways, I guess, just my train of thought ran from how do we incentivize people to not, like give up. I think Matthew and Aaron, I think they still have honor. I think they'll still, they still want to win. They don't want to, lose. Matthew's got, who does he have on his lineup? Yeah, he's got New South Charlietown and then Uncle Ron is retarded. So people that he's competing with, oh my God, I just realized that is a crazy last 3 weeks for Matthew. Because if he wins both of those games, that is crucially important. He knocks out, so if he wins week 13, he knocks out Matt from playoff contention. Then if he wins week 14, he knocks out Aaron from playoff contention. Meanwhile, he's still in it, and he's just going to, hope for Zach to drop one, which Zach very well could. Dan bites kneecaps. And, I mean, same goes for Matt and Aaron. If Aaron, wins and then wins again, he knocks out Matthew. If Matt beats Matthew,
fuck me. Piss on me, beat me.
This week, he knocks out Matthew out of playoff competition. So there is still a lot to play for. But my train of thought originally was, how do we incentivize people, to not give up hope, not tank? And my first thought is money. And then I was just thinking, along other lines, what are you tanking for? You're tanking for the first overall draft pick. And I was just curious, myself to see, is it worth tanking for the first overall draft pick? And I'm starting to think that it's not. I'm starting to think that the first overall draft pick might be the worst spot in the draft in some senses because, there's just that weird obligation that you feel. But I could be totally off right now. So, anyways, I hope to get the boys on the podcast tomorrow. I'm sure I will. So I'll see you guys then. Here we are. We're live. The podcast is back. We got the boy, not the boys, just the boy today, Matthew.
What's up there, Chomo?
What's up? Probably third time. Or, yeah.
Most common reoccurring guest on the podcast, I think.
What can I say? I always got time to podcast.
Don't tell his boss. He's currently working right now, but
yeah, please don't.
No one will know, especially in 30 years when our podcast is super famous and we're making millions off ad revenue.
Yeah, I mean, then no one will need to work, right?
Yeah, exactly. We'll just be vibing. All right. So we've gotten through weeks 11 and 12 since last time we were on the cast. And for Matthew, those have been weeks to forget. Very much so. Do you want to just give us a little reflection, or are you just kind of sort of moving on from it as fast as you can?
My reflection is that this past week really broke my spirits a little bit. I still saw a path to the playoffs before this past week.
Yeah.
And I could make excuses. I think I've referenced some of those excuses before. But bottom line is, the past, 4 weeks, I'd say, just haven't put up enough points, and I'm
Right.
1-3 in that time.
Right.
And that's really all it is. I changed my team name as a little cheeky reference to some of the excuses I have.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, in the past 4 weeks, I haven't put up a lot of points, and I'm 1-3 in those weeks.
Yep.
So that's where I'm at.
All right.
Looking on the outside, I am looking to win the next 2 games though, and finish off all right.
Absolutely. And if we can go to the next 2 games, so you start by playing, it's the Battle of the Mats, it's a repeat, and it's, even though you may not have much hope right now, it's actually, like, at this point, it's actually sudden death, because if you lose, you're officially mathematically eliminated, but if you win, you knock Matt out of contention, so he's officially mathematically eliminated.
Yeah, the only thing though is, I'm not in control of my own destiny, really.
Right.
Like, that's the problem.
Yeah, it's very tough, especially
Honestly,
now that Zach's won 2 in a row, because
Yeah.
he's still caught some of that residual points from the the start of the season.
I'm a little ahead of Tristan still.
Yep.
I'm behind Zach still, so.
And it's very important. So if you, it's real. Oh man, I'm looking at the schedule. I guess I still kind of
there's
had
no
hope for you guys,
chance.
but yeah, Tristan facing Morning Chubb this week is just it's
Yeah.
not what you needed.
Yep, exactly. I can't have any of them win, is what I mean.
Yeah. Oh my God! What if Alex? I don't want to get anyone's hopes up, but if he comes back, he's already checked his lineup once. Maybe comes back a second week, and this is the week that he does it. I should text him. I should text him out of the blue. Tristan will be like, "What the fuck? Why did he check his lineup?" Oh, we got someone else joining. Hey, Tristan.
What's up,
We were
Tristan?
just talking about you, man.
What the fuck were you saying?
We were saying good things. We were saying that you're looking, handsome for the playoffs.
We're saying Alex is probably going to score 12 points against you, so unless he checks his lineup, he's going to have no one playing.
Yeah, no, I noticed that too. So I was like, so I'm 8-6, probably gonna lose to Connor, and that's.
You're in the playoffs, man. You
I know.
did it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm gonna lose, but happy to be here.
You pulled it out. You really did. You were 1-3 to start the season, right?
Yeah.
We made the Josh Allen trade, and ever since,
And it benefited me like I knew it would.
mutually beneficial. That's what it came down to.
It's a symbiotic relationship we have.
Yeah, actually, we gotta applaud you. You made some good trades this year, some very good
Oh,
trades.
yeah, definitely.
I know. You guys were bagging on me.
You've kind of fleeced Aaron with Elijah Mitchell.
Oh, 100%.
Did you also get
And
Pittman
Michael
from
Pittman
that?
for
You got
Michael
Pittman from that
sure,
too.
Huh?
You got Pittman from that too.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And I gave him Devontae Smith and Myles Gaskin.
Yeah, Gaskin's all right sometimes, but
Right.
Sometimes, but he's
Sometimes.
not Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah.
no.
Best waiver wire pickup of the year for Aaron.
Yeah, and then he trades him away. Dawson Knox too, and Aaron just left him rotting on the bench.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Yeah.
Very unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Liz.
Bye, Liz. All right. So, Matthew, so I kind of want to get your thoughts here from a league manager perspective. Because I want to know, would it be better, like from the position you're in, because you kind of, I don't want to pile on, but you kind of have no hope. Would there be some hope if I said, like, if you could make the playoffs, you would get your, like, deposit back? So, like, there's some money incentive to keep, like, trying to win these next 2 games.
I want that incentive.
Well, you'd get it, buddy. You're in the playoffs.
I would rather not be in the playoffs then.
You'd rather not be in the playoffs and lose your money?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I don't want to be in the playoffs if it means I get my money back.
No. You have to, like, the 5 people that make the playoffs, they get, like, a baseline fee for making the playoffs. So there is some incentive to still try to make the playoffs.
Yeah. Never mind. You can keep talking, Matthew.
I mean, I'm still gonna try to win the next 2 games. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I guess I know you're a very honorable, man and fantasy player. So I know that you still have it in you. You still want to win, but I guess just maybe like for the future, if we get like, I don't know, like others.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it would definitely help, probably.
Okay.
Although I do, actually, Johnny, I do need to fix something now that I'm not in the winners bracket.
Yeah.
The 6th seed should be the one that gets the bye, not the 10th seed.
10th seed gets by right now in our
No, it
bracket.
shouldn't be that though.
But that's how it is right now.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. No, we're changing that.
Because think about it. Then Alex is gonna immediately go to the
Yeah, that does make sense.
above, and then either the 8th or 9th seed is gonna be like, it just doesn't add up.
No, yeah, you're right. I can fix that, but I'm gonna have to be reminded. I'm gonna have to be reminded when playoff comes, when week 15 comes. Because I can definitely fix that, but I just can't do it right now. Like when playoffs roll around, I can physically, change the playoff bracket. I can edit it, but I don't know if that's something I can do currently. But it's definitely something that I'll make that adjustment, no doubt.
I like how Aaron was really confident that he could maybe make a chance at the playoffs, and then all of a sudden Matt stuck out of nowhere too, and he has more points for. So Aaron has no chance of making the playoffs at all.
Yeah. I really
was so confident when you guys were talking on that one podcast. Poor guy.
Poor chap.
I really wanted me and Aaron's last game of the season to be the fight for the 5th.
Yeah.
That would have been cool. That would have been very cool.
That would have been fun. I can't believe I snuck in here. Just got to thank the schedule that I had. Thank you, Johnny.
Yeah, I mean, you earned it though. You earned it. Go back on your past couple games. 92 points, 101, 83. Okay, but that was because Zach.
I start Antonio Gibson.
Yeah.
He dropped 19 points.
Yeah, I mean, you did well enough. So I think well earned, well done to make your way in there.
Week 8, where we scored the highest amount of points. That one hurt.
Oh, yeah.
For sure out of the playoffs at that point. I thought Matthew was going to go on a tear after that.
Yeah, that was a relegation 6-pointer right there.
Alvin Kamara, man. Missed so many
Yeah.
hits.
That really hurt your team. Should have taken Jonathan Taylor.
And I have yet to make the right quarterback decision since, in the past couple weeks.
Tom Brady gets Atlanta, though, so I think you should be okay this week.
Yeah.
He dropped 30 points on them the first.
Shoot, I had a good question. Dang it. What was I going to talk about? Let me go into the folder. So for the future, just picking your guys' brains, would you guys want to maybe introduce like a keeper type thing? So Matthew, I remember you bringing this up.
I was gonna bring that up too because I didn't know you guys were talking about that.
A couple years ago, yeah.
Oh, that was a couple. Okay.
Yeah, no, it was a while back, but it was the idea that it was kind of neat. So you get the choice of, pick a player on your team that you want to keep,
And the rest is redraft.
And then you lose that draft round. So like if you picked a guy in the first round, you'd lose your first round pick for the next year. Was that the idea? I don't know.
I think that makes it interesting.
I think it would make it interesting. I don't know if we can we do it? Can we integrate it this late into the season? I feel like we'd have to do it starting next season so that, I don't know, maybe people like go for the value picks a little bit more or something like that.
Maybe, but I don't know. That's your job to figure that out.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
But I would be down.
Yeah, I'd be down too.
Okay.
Makes it interesting.
So there's interest. There's interest there. Okay. Those were my two big questions.
Pick, if I could keep Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, that'd be. Well, see, that's the other problem is I feel like you can't do it starting at the end of the season. Well, no, because you can't. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll come back to you guys. I'll give you a proposal. Shoot, I can't believe I forgot what I was gonna say. It was gonna be a great talking point too. I promise.
Is this for the podcast?
Yeah, we're on the podcast. We're live.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, you're live, baby.
I'm gonna leave now.
You're gonna leave? You don't want to be on it?
I don't like talking.
Tristan,
You did fantastic, Tristan.
Friends.
Thanks for showing up. We love you. We love having you on the podcast.
I'm on pro clubs, Johnny.
I'm coming to pro clubs. Don't worry.
But I'll stay then, I guess.
We knew you wanted to stay. You want to be on it. Good.
I don't. I really don't.
The only people that are going to hear you are your friends, so don't worry.
I know.
That's true.
And maybe Sabrina Miller.
And maybe Brian.
Maybe Brian.
Does Sabrina listen to the podcast, Johnny?
Absolutely not. So yeah, do we have any good bites? Do you guys have any good sound bites for me? Because I need something. After the last podcast, I had that great sound bite.
That was a good soundbite.
I need a good inflammatory statement now. So I feel like Tristan, you got to have something to say.
No.
No. I can bleep your name. I can be like, hey, bleep. What do you have to say? And then you can say your piece and. No one will know it's you.
I will say, though, Johnny, your team is looking much better in recent weeks. You deserve to have 8 wins.
I've obviously been faced with this conundrum my entire, I'm not going to, like Big Cat says, never apologize for our wins. I'm never going to apologize for my wins.
I disagree with that, Tristan. In the past 4 weeks, he's at a 38. Yeah,
I know.
That's what I was going to say. Is
by the recent weeks, I mean this past week.
Yeah, this past week.
Yeah, this past
week. Good game this past week.
I would argue,
this year.
My first half of the season was way better than my second half of the season so far.
Yeah.
38 points. I'm very hot cold right now. 84, 98, 38, 98, 61. 124. So, I'm figuring it out.
Yeah, some growing pains late in the season.
I can't believe Aiden got a win scoring 54 points.
Dude, I can't believe Aiden beat me early in the year too.
Truly. Aiden.
I didn't realize that.
Wow. I gotta say, I'm kind of happy with Aiden's getting 4 wins. I thought he wasn't gonna do much,
and not pay attention at all, but he at least, you know.
Losing CMC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
McCaffrey just being done.
Yeah. So.
I saw something where it was like if he started like J.D. McKissick on like odd,
dude,
something like that.
I saw that too. If you started Gaskin on even weeks and McKissick on odd weeks, and like combine them together, you'd have the 5th best running back in the league. Yeah, and McKissick's like the 40th best running back in the league. Gaskin's like the 20th or something. It's wild.
That's crazy.
It was okay. So other way around, even weeks for McKissick.
Okay.
Yeah, 15, 11, 11, 9. Yeah, he was 17. So unfortunate. If only Aiden knew.
Yeah.
One of the comments was like, "It was so simple. How did you guys not see it?"
It was so simple. It's so simple. So Tristan, I gave you 3rd in the power rankings this week. How'd you feel about that? You feel like you're too high still?
Yeah. Wait, let me see who you put below me first.
Yeah. So I mean, I gave you 3rd. I thought you earned it. I will say, I want to, I said it in the rankings, but I also want to say it publicly. I feel badly about putting Uncle Ron his guitar at 8. Feel that's a little unjust, but at the same time, the stats kind of back me up. Back me up.
Looking at who you put above him, it would be either Matt or him,
right at 8.
Changed up.
Yeah.
But because Matthew doesn't deserve to be that low, even though
I'm ready to be 6th, man. That's exactly what I don't want to be any higher ever again.
Yeah, Zach's team has been playing well without Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Chase Young kid's he could
kind of fair.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how the overall who's the best fantasy manager, like that spreadsheet. It'll be interesting to see how that shakes up after this season. I think Luke's gonna take like sole position of 1st.
He might, honestly. He's been killing it this year.
Connor's probably gonna move up a rank. Zach may not be dead last this time.
Well, it's Aiden is gonna take a huge hit.
Yeah.
He was only in the 1 season or 2 seasons,
and they were amazing. Not the best comeback season for the
not the best. Yeah, definitely not the best comeback. Not what he'd be hoping for.
I think the most of us will just stay pretty much where we were.
Yeah. All right.
I feel like Luke should have more wins too.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he should have beaten Matt.
Yeah.
Like, Mark Andrews had no right making that comeback. That was ridiculous.
The most points of his fucking career.
Yeah. All in 1 quarter, too.
Yeah. It just dipped.
And then he probably should have beaten me that first week, but Justin Herbert just died in the second half. Didn't do anything.
Yeah, let me see his schedule. Yeah, that one. Then I guess he lost to Zach, who scored the most points that week, I think.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. And then he lost to Aaron.
Yeah, that one against Aaron was a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, that was close. But yeah, I mean, if you kind of look at Connor's points for the whole season, he had a good start, but he really, he hasn't done crazy lots since.
Sure. I mean, Zach still has more points for than Connor.
Yeah.
Well, I'm rooting for Connor this week, so.
It's Connor against Zach, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not kidding. You're rooting for Connor.
Because literally Tristan is no doubt gonna be.
Yeah.
It's like not even possible.
Yeah, it's not.
Dude, if I lose to Alex, I'd be...
You literally.
You are, come on.
Look at what he's playing right now. He doesn't have a quarterback. He has no running backs. Adam Thielen's going to have to get 60 points on his own.
I don't know. It might be Johnny's luck, man. He put me high in the power ranking.
That's true. I did. I was thinking about that. Definitely put you high.
It might. Never say never.
Dude, he should actually, if he checked his lineup, he could play Jamal Williams. He's had him on his bench the whole season.
Yeah.
He should play Jamal Williams.
So that's what, another 9 points going for him?
He would have to start Trevor Lawrence. I mean, he's got Odell Beckham.
Yeah, he has a slot. AJ Brown's on.
Yeah, AJ Brown's out.
And he did play well last week.
Yeah.
He did, yeah.
Could have had a huge game, actually. He had 10 targets and caught 5.
Oh, I've just remembered what I was going to say.
Okay.
All right. Sorry. It's a little non sequitur. We're going back to playoffs and tanking. So I was just curious myself, and I went back and I looked where, everyone's draft position was that won the league. And so no one, number 1 and number 2 draft picks have never won the league. The sweet spot is 3, 4, and 5. That's where you've had, the biggest conglomeration.
Makes sense.
And I just thought that was an interesting point, or an interesting, observation, because I think there's something to do with you're obligated. If you're number 1, you kind of feel obligated to take, a certain guy, but he may not be your guy. So.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
I feel like that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah, no, that's why I never want to be at the top. I hate the first picks.
Yeah, I agree.
It's so bad. Even 3 is kind of pushing it for me.
No, yeah, I agree. I think 4 and 5. I mean, Tristan, you were pick 5, I think, when you won the league.
I was either 4 or 5.
Yeah, you were one of those two. And so
wait, let me see. I can check real quick.
It's just seems to be the sweet spot.
Yeah, I was 4th.
4th.
And you guys were getting on my case about not taking Alvin Kamara and taking Jonathan Taylor.
I mean, great picks.
Yeah.
Just like to say,
such a good pick.
I told you so.
Yeah, there you go. This is your chance to, say to the world. I told you.
The best pick of the first round.
Yeah, the rest of my picks, not so much, but I told you so.
I think I wanted the 4th pick because I thought Derrick Henry might be available.
Yeah.
I was thinking he might fall to me too, but just didn't happen.
And I mean, I guess it's a good thing it didn't, because he abandoned Zach's team halfway through the season.
Yeah. And I'm sold. Jonathan Taylor is going to be a monster in years to come. So.
Yeah, you're sold. Is he your mortal lock now? You'll never not pick him.
Yeah, he is my new Joe Mixon. I'm going to pick him every year if I can. And I'm pissed that the 1 year I didn't take Joe Mixon, he decides to play well.
Yeah. I can't believe Joe Mixon's playing well, man. It's just absolutely doesn't make sense.
That's my luck.
I mean, it's... Well, I'll go back and, kind of create my list of best picks in the draft probably at the end of the season, but Joe Mixon's got to be, one of the best. Luke got him in the 4th round.
Yeah, because I was going to take him earlier than that, and we were all just bagging on him. So
we were.
So
we were definitely bagging on him.
But, dude, if I had Jonathan Taylor and Joe Mixon, my team would have been so much different this year.
Oh, my God. Yeah, your team would have been set.
But, if I had him, I don't know if I would have traded for, Antonio Gibson.
Right.
Et cetera, et cetera.
But you still would have had Josh Allen. You still would have had...
Josh Allen's not that great this year, man. I'm not too mad about that loss.
He's like the number 2 quarterback.
Yeah, but he's hot and cold, so...
He had one bad week. He had one 9-point week.
16's pretty bad, too. He had 2 of those and a 17.
All right.
But, I mean, I can't really speak because Jalen Hurts is not playing too hot right now either, so...
I don't know. I think... but, like, name a more consistent quarterback this year.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I did luck out with that.
Because, like, Mahomes, he's not been consistent whatsoever.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray's been injured. Lamar Jackson's kind of hot and cold, too.
I guess that's a fair point to make, then.
What's up, Aaron?
What's up, guys?
Oh, Aaron. How's it going? Welcome to the podcast. Fair warning, you're on the podcast. But if you do want to say something, you know, crazy or like that's going to rile up the crowd, go ahead. We need a good, we need a good soundbite.
Nah, man, I'm crapped out of fantasy. This week broke my heart. Thank you again for your trade, Aaron. I really appreciate it.
Just rubbing his face.
I don't really care. That trade didn't really do anything for me. Yeah, I know, and it made my team so much better. Yeah. I don't know, man. Season's over.
Yeah. Season's over. You got 2 people whose seasons are over on the podcast right now. So.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. There's nothing I could say to bring you guys back.
Over for everyone. Connor or Luke is just gonna win. So no, it's not. It's dumb though. The playoffs are decided with 3 weeks left.
Yeah, it's definitely a little early.
Oh man, Zach losing could be big for one of you guys. So it wouldn't matter because he'd have to lose both games. And then Matthew and I play each other. So either if I beat Matthew, we'd have the same record. He'd get it on points. So my season's for sure over.
But I mean, I think it just ended a little bit earlier because we had a little bit more like differential. Like last year we had 1, 2, 3, 6 and 7 and 6 teams. An 8 and 5 team. I think it was just like the pack just got separated here a little bit at the end.
Partially, it's just we have so many teams that are all like equally good.
Yeah.
And only like one team that's really bad. The 5-person playoffs doesn't help. I hate 5-person playoffs. I'm gonna protest in the off season.
You only don't like it because you didn't make it, man. I know it's hard.
It makes so much more sense. You have the 2 division winners, and then the next 2 have play-ins. Like, why? Who decides what the third? All right, whatever. I'll say this another time. I said it just to rile up Aaron. I just want to see if you guys were potting.
No, I mean, it's a good debate. I think it's the way to go. You got top 3 and then a play-in match.
What's top 3, though?
Connor, me, and Luke right now. We're top 3. And then we've got a play-in match between the next 2 best teams, which is Zach and Tristan.
I don't know if you're top 3. To be fair, but
I mean, I'm sitting there right now. I'm sitting there, like,
dude, you have been so lucky this season. It has been. Why would you?
But I also deservedly lost the 2 weeks that I put up really, really bad points.
Why would you be third over Zach? You have less points than everyone in your division.
Because I'm 8 and 4, and Zach isn't.
That makes no sense.
What do you mean? Like, we're like, since UTSA is like, they're not top 4 because they're not top 4. They didn't earn it.
Okay, so we have it's like a college football playoff committee type decision where you.
No, I've got more wins than Zach. What do you mean I'm not top 3? It's the definition of being top 3. I've got more wins than him.
So that's why, Cincinnati's not number 2.
Yeah, they're losing to Houston next week.
Okay. I'm dipping. I gotta go back to work.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
See you guys.
Have a good shift. See ya.
I'm also gonna dip too because I want to play some pro clubs.
All right, I'll be on in a minute, babe.
All right.
All right, thanks for being on the podcast.
You're so welcome. It was my pleasure. Thank you. Goodbye.
But any last words, Mr. Daniel?
Just that it's kind of insane how many points against I have. Like, I want even more points. I want it to be so statistically improbable that I have this many points against.
Your points against is nuts. It is absolutely nuts.
I almost have 100 more than Alex, and Alex can't play himself. You know, like, he has to have the most points against because he can't play himself.
It's definitely nuts. I mean, 1325.36. We'll never see it again. Well, we might, but in after 12 weeks of football, it's nuts. It's nuts.
Yeah, that would be like right behind Luke for the most points for.
Yeah.
Like, it's like playing Luke every single week.
Yeah. No, you're right. It's like playing Luke every single week. That's a good point. Yeah. No, I mean, it was unlucky year, no doubt.
Yeah, it's so fun. Like, so I'm playing Matt this week, right?
Right.
And I was looking at, the little points scored by week chart.
Oh, yeah.
And Matt would have beaten me 4 times out of 12 weeks, right?
Okay.
So I'd be 8-4 against Matt, and we have the same record.
That's crazy. Yeah. Week 1, 2. Yeah.
But anyway, I hope Zach's team falls apart here.
I mean, Zach's team, so if you think about it psychologically, he has to come up against the number one team. He has to come up against his division rival this week, and then he has to go. He can't take his foot off the gas this week because it's week 13. It's rivalry week for him. He's got me. So, he's going to be thinking ahead. He's going to be trying to make the right plays maybe for week 14 when he should be making them for week 13. So, he could flounder. There's the opportunity for him to flounder here.
Yeah, but I need it to be, historic, He's got to drop some, 60-point games.
Some 60 bombs?
Yeah.
1259, what are you? You're at 1181. Oh, yeah, so you have to outscore him by 80.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so if he drops 80 and you drop 120, he could drop like a 70 and a 50, and you could drop 120. It's tough, but you could do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna happen, but
Season's over. That's what it comes down to, I guess. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's gonna be tons of off-season discussion and figuring out where we can go from here into 2021. But I again, like I said, I think you're an honorable man. I think you're going to try for the next two, and you don't want to be last in the consolation ladder. So might definitely shoot for that. Number 6, 5 or 6, getting that sweet spot of draft picks.
Yep, think so.
All right, we should have like a bowl game. What else to look forward to? Well, I guess we have to come up with a trophy too, a league trophy. I still have not come up with something for that.
Yeah, well, we could have done that last year, but
yeah, we tried. We're into Salvation Army.
We did. There's a pretty big Goodwill around where I live.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? I'm thinking like something like a glass, like something glass that we could like etch a name into.
Etch your name into glass?
Yeah, I think that'd be sick.
Alright, I think I'll just know it when I see it.
Okay, yeah, that's fair too. I like that. All right, we'll know it when you see it. Sounds good. Alrighty. Well, that is going to be it. I'll just do the outro right here. Thanks for listening. Matthew's also going to say bye.
Bye. Remember to like and subscribe.
You heard the man. That's all we need. All right. Catch you in your altar.